This portion of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC is brought to you by Ford of Canada, makers of the 1997 F-150, built for today's driving needs.
Janney, and with the rate at which he's been scoring points since he got to Winnipeg, to be held pointless in the first period, it's almost a personal slump for you, but your team had its chances.
Yeah, we had our chances, but they had a lot of quality chances too. Nicky played really well in the nets for us. We came back at the second half of the period and got going a little bit. Hopefully we can continue that over.
Just this week you were saying to me that we need our other lines to chip in, so you'll take Fraser's goal.
It's a great, hard-working goal. He's been working hard and not getting anything to bounce his way. He finally got a good bounce, and it worked for him.
Play inside the Calgary zone, banked up along the boards to center ice. Finley dumps it back in. Craig with the Jets, basically at 16 points in 7 games, because in the 7-1 embarrassment to his former team, the San Jose Sharks, he said he thought he may have been one of the worst players on the ice. They score on the shot from the point as it slips between the pads. Happy Bullen, and then Sullivan was able to knock it in. The shot from the point, Happy Bullen thought he had it, and then that telltale look behind, and I think Sullivan was able to knock it in.
Well, it's actually Mike Sullivan who's leading the rush. He's going to pull up just over the blue line. Sullivan will take the initial shot. Remember, it's Mike Sullivan who's stepping in to fill the big shoes of Gary Roberts. Looked like German Titov driving aggressively towards that goal, streaming down the right side. This puck just manages to find the spot in between the legs of Nikolai Habibulin, and it's Titov that redirects it over the line.
So the Calgary Flames tie it 40 seconds into the second period. And will it be Sullivan or Titov who is credited with the goal? Yanni frees the puck at center, looking for Lemieux. Bounced away from him. Fired back in by the Flames. Habibulin has had at times is that he does get that puck in his pads, thinks he has squeezed it, and then it slips through. And that was the case with the shot by Sullivan. Here comes Eastwood. Eastwood drops it off for Korolev. Korolev gets the puck again, shoots it off the side of the net. Korolev looks back to the line. Tried to leave it there for Manson, picked up by the Flames. Nylander starts away with Lemieux. Nylander shoots, save, and the rebound also knocked away by Habibulin. Nylander back of the net, gets away from a check, and the goal is credited to Titov as the initial shot apparently had been stopped. Sullivan's blast from just inside the line by Habibulin.
The Jets look real flat-footed to begin this second period. Calgary has come out with a vengeance. Initially, Ronnie Stern gets a big hit right off the bat, and they seem to really feed off that energy. It's been all Calgary so far early in the second.
And the goal for Titov, his 28th of the year, is a career high. Now it's McCarthy in across the line. A long shot goes off a leg wide. Lapsky keeps it in at the point behind the net for Cruz. Cruz having problems picking it up, taken away from him by Tverdovsky. He moves it ahead to Fraser, over to Doan. Doan coming in against Albaline, fires it in back of the Calgary goal. King in the corner, couldn't control it. It comes back to the line and is chopped out to center ice.
You know, in our discussions earlier today with Terry Simpson, he said one of the things that has really impressed him about his club over this little streak that they're on has been their patience. We're not seeing that right now.
Here's a chance for King, and he couldn't control it. Doan picks it up. He shoots. Cabaracci comes up with the save as Ian Fraser was cutting through the goal crease.
Take another look at that Calgary goal. German Titov was credited with it. Remember, Mike Sullivan, the guy expected to fill in the big shoes of Gary Roberts. He just pulls up. He snaps a quick wrist shot right through the lane on that shot. Titov sneaks in there to mop up.
Fleury and Sullivan draw the assists on Titov's 28th of the year to tie this game at 1. In the Western Conference standings, the Flames lead the Jets by 2 points. They are currently in a deadlock with the Vancouver Canucks, who play later this evening against the Los Angeles Kings.
The thing about about Titoff, the constant that he always provides his club is he's a very aggressive skater, very strong on his skates, and much like a Keith Tkachuk, almost impossible to stop if you don't cut him off quickly. Certainly, he'll take those one-footers every day.
Well, Titoff, one of two late choices in the draft by the Calgary Flames who have really produced, the other being Terran Fleury. Titoff was taken number 10 in 1993, Fleury number 8 in 1987. Back to the net, Eddie Olczyk looking for someone to give it to. He's tied up by Chason. Chad Kilger comes in trying to free it. It's played up along the boards by Stillman. Stillman overskates it. Back to the net. Olczyk trying to move out front. He's checked. Zalapsky pushes it ahead to Murray. Murray now shoves it ahead to Kennedy to Stillman. Stillman tried to get it back to Kennedy. He's checked. Murray back to the line. Long shot, and Tabaracci again had some problem, or Happy Bullen, I should say, had some long problems with that shot from the point, but he managed to cover up just in time. 16:38 remains in the second.
Could you clean the windows, please?
No problem.
Thanks.
The windows in our new minivans are now bigger than ever before. 32% more in the windshield alone. Of course, how that makes you feel
Terrific.
depends entirely on your point of view.
Update from Toronto now in the second period. The Leafs have gone ahead of the Blues. Matt Sundin gets the go-ahead goal on a beautiful backhand setup from Wendell Clark. Sundin's 32nd of the year, but let's have another look at Mike Gartner's tying goal from the first period. Sundin, though, trust me, Don, does Blues.
Here it's a 1-1 tie with 16:34 remaining in the second. Chason moving in. Happy Bullen kicks that one up against the glass. The puck bounces to the side of the net. Sullivan tried to get a shot away. He was checked. Chason keeps it in at the point. Newman banks it off the boards. It's cut off by Zalapsky. Picked up by Sullivan. A shot off the post. Sullivan came close to giving Calgary the lead for the first time.
The Flames have just been all over Winnipeg the first 4 minutes of this second period.
They've outshot them by a margin of 6-1 so far in this second period.
It's just a huge difference in the amount of jump they have in the legs right now. Winnipeg just kind of standing around and watching for the most part.
And again, Happy Bullen seemed to have a little problem with that long, low shot. Finley plays it in off the body. Tabaracci whips it up along the boards to Lemieux, and he backhands it out to center ice. Tverdovsky throws it into the Calgary zone. Back after it is Eastwood trying to center it. It's loose in front of the net and picked up there by Lemieux. Starts away for the Fender, gets it again, but couldn't continue on. Now a lead pass ahead for Shannon. He couldn't handle it. 15:15 left in the second period. 1-1 the score between the Jets and the Flames. The Jets go on a 2-game road swing that will take them to St. Louis on Monday and Detroit on Wednesday, while the Flames move on to Edmonton for a Monday night game before returning home Tuesday to host Dallas. The Islanders lead Buffalo by a score of 1-0.
One of the things that has been much different, the tone of this second period, than the Calgary Flames. They came out hitting right off the bat. Ronnie Stern got involved. Jocelyn Lemieux, who was very quiet in the first 20 minutes, has had a couple of good bumps on Craig Muni, and it seems to have really put the Winnipeg Jets back on their heels a little bit. They're not completing those passes as they exit the defensive zone, and as a result, they're not really generating any type of offense whatsoever against the Flames.
Albaline to Huskroft. Back to Albaline. He moves it ahead for Lemieux. Lemieux plays it in off Muni. Happy Bullen comes out of his net. Whips it around to the other side. And then Darren Shannon tried to reverse it. Jocelyn Lemieux stepped into Korolev, but the puck slipped all the way down the ice. Now it's Eastwood. Behind his back to Shannon. He couldn't pick it up. Craig Muni has it. Gets it over to Korolev. Back to Eastwood. Eastwood coming in on the right side. Puts on the brakes. Tried to go to his backhand. Slipped off his stick. Craig Muni gets it to Shannon. Over to Korolev. A weak shot. That's blocked before it gets to the net. And winds up underneath the Calgary player, Lemieux.
Talked about Ron Stern. He's been extremely active already in this second period. You know, when the Flames get physical, the end result is that their skill players end up getting a lot more time and space on the ice to do the things that they need to do with the puck. Good shot of Ronnie Stern. You know one thing about Stern, he is going to finish his check all over the ice. He hit Craig Muni in that last shift 3 or 4 times. Talked about Jocelyn Lemieux as well. Here's why they got Lemieux. They wanted somebody that they could count on to get in on the forecheck. Again, there's another Winnipeg defenseman that gets run over. Lemieux's had the reins taken off him. He's tired of playing that trapping system in New Jersey, where he's always backing up. His style of play certainly much better suited to the pedal-to-the-metal style that Pierre Pagé encourages his players to play in Calgary.
Well, the Flames have done a better job of finishing their checks in the first period and 6 minutes of the second than the Winnipeg Jets. Forcing the Jets in their own zone. Now it's Chad Kilger breaking away. Kilger tried to split the defense. He was stopped. The puck comes to McKenzie. There's the shot. They score. Olczak!
Two turnovers deep in their own zone for the Calgary Flames. End result being 2 Winnipeg Jet goals.
Well, for Eddie Olczyk, that's his 26th of the year. One of the reasons the Jets are anxious to get him back in the lineup. Here's Keith Tkachuk trying to move into the slot area. Tkachuk still controlling, gives to Janney. Janney gets it back to the line. Newman moves in. He shoots off Tabaracci. Tkachuk goes to the corner after it. Tkachuk trying to work into position, slips it across to Finley. Finley behind the net for Dallas Drake. He's having some problems. Frees it for Janney. Janney couldn't center it. Newman pinches in from the point. Now the Jets, after the goal by Eddie Olczyk, seem to have some life. The centering attempt picked off by Patrick. He gets it to the line. Not out. Kept in by Finley. Out for Tkachuk. Tkachuk in the slot area. Knocked down. Got it back to the line, but Finley couldn't keep it onside.
The Jets do a good job of protecting that puck down low. Hockey's a funny game. That momentum changes so quickly, doesn't it?
McKenzie and Kilger drawing the assist on Olczyk's 26th goal of the year at 6:03. And the fans give the line of Drake, Janney, and Tkachuk an ovation as they head off. Here's Fleury with a shot. And Abby Bullen out of the net manages to hold it for a face-off with 12:38 remaining in the second.
What right? It's not traveling down the road of compromise. It's an unhurried journey towards fulfillment. And in the places you travel and the people you touch along the way, you've discovered one thing. It's the journey that counts, not the arrival.
B.F. Goodrich TA Tires, for people who look at driving like no one else. B.F. Goodrich, show them your true colors.
Winnipeg goal from the perspective of the keeper. A little bit of a turnover. You see how Tabaracci tries to get out to the top of the goal crease to make that quick little challenge, but as soon as he takes that first step forward, the puck is already past him. Olchuk wasted no
setup from Jim McKenzie, not noted for his playmaking ability. Kennedy knocks Tverdovsky off the puck. Stillman fires it wide. Chris King trying to reverse it. Race after the puck in the Winnipeg zone. Muni takes the hit along the boards from Kennedy, and Muni is down and slow in getting up, but he was on top of the puck, and it appears as though he's all right, but very quickly Chris King skates over to have a word with the Calgary player.
It's been a tough second period for Craig Muni so far. He's been hit 4 or 5 pretty good ones. Terrific pickup by the Jets. Muni has really been a stabilizing influence on the youngster, Oleg Tverdovsky.
They picked him up from Buffalo on the 15th of February for Daryl Shannon and Michael Groshek. And what they wanted back in the blue line was his experience. And, of course, his experience includes 3 Stanley Cup victories with the Edmonton Oilers.
Doesn't make the fancy plays, but you pretty much always rely on Craig Muni to make the save plays, keep that puck up the boards. The one thing they've been trying to teach the youngster Tverdovsky is to learn how to play like in a hockey game. Certainly, Muni will be able to help him out in that area.
Manson to King. He couldn't get it out. It bounces away from McIver, centered. Picked up by Huscroft. The save by Habby Bullen. Now Eastwood starts out of his own zone for Winnipeg. He has Fraser moving up with him. Eastwood dumps it to the corner. Albeline goes back after it, being watched behind his own net for Stillman. Up along the boards, kept in by Manson. Manson's weak shot knocked down in front of the net by Huscroft, and he'll clear the zone. 11:50 remaining in the second period. Winnipeg leading by a score of 2-1. McIver plays it in. Racing to the corner after it, Fraser and Stern. Stern trying to force it out. And finally it does bounce to center, picked up there by Lemieux. Lemieux fanned on his attempted shoot-in. Gets it again, and this time it's picked up by Manson. He leaves it in the corner for Doan, and Doan collides with Lemieux. This time Lemieux goes down. Lemieux has been a physical presence since the opening face-off for Calgary.
He's a hard-working player, Jocelyn Lemieux, and of course all the Flames are trying to do is to flip that puck in and force turnovers themselves and take a page from the Winnipeg Jets in their last goal that they generated.
Not a lot of point production for Jocelyn Lemieux, just 2 goals and 5 assists this season. But you have to be aware that he is on the ice because he'll step into it. We're approaching the midpoint of the second period. Winnipeg in front by a score of 2-1. Titoff scoring for Calgary. Ian Fraser and Eddie Olchuk for Winnipeg. Now it's Fleury in the corner. Fleury back to the line. Sullivan couldn't get a shot away, but another shot from the point bounces off bodies just wide of the Winnipeg goal. Tabaracci comes out of his net to play it, pushes it around to the other side for Steve Chason. Up into the neutral zone. Titoff checks his man. Sullivan racing after the loose puck, tied up there by Craig Janney. Clearing attempt by Newman and knocked down. Fleury couldn't go anywhere with it. Pushed ahead now for Drake. Drake looking for Tkachuk. Just beyond his reach. That's something teams have to be aware of. Winnipeg likes to hit Keith Tkachuk in full flight coming through the neutral zone. Here's Titoff now trying to work in. Titoff lost control of it, and with Habby Bullen down, it was cleared to the sideboard.
This is one of the first times in the hockey game that the big lines have been matched up against one another.
Here's Tkachuk with Dallas Drake. He opted to shoot, and it was partially blocked by Steve Chason. Tverdovsky's long shot. That sails wide. Tkachuk was trying to screen in front. Now it's Dallas Drake in the corner, trying to get away from Chason. Tkachuk comes in to help out as well. It goes behind the net where James Patrick tries to clear. Fleury comes in deep, whips it up along the boards, but not out. Muni lets the shot go through traffic. Tkachuk couldn't get his shot away. And it's finally knocked out to center ice for Fleury, working against Tverdovsky. Fleury is knocked down and then heads to the bench on the line change.
Paul Stewart is calling himself a pretty good playoff game. He has put that whistle away, and he's letting the players decide this.
Well, this really is a playoff atmosphere because the outcome of this game could have an impact on whether or not these teams, either one of them, qualify for the postseason. The Flames in a better position to advance to the Stanley Cup playoff round. The Jets at the moment in 8th place. Here's Sandy McCarthy back to the point. Albalade, who has scored only 1 goal this year. That was back on the 19th of October against Detroit. Hasn't got a point yet as a Calgary Flame. Now it's McCarthy. He put that off the boat. Shannon chops it out to center ice. It's picked up by Korolev. Coming in against Yanni. Korolev trying to go wide. Leaves it back of the net for Shannon. Shannon battling there with Albalade. Shannon manages to get the puck free. Now goes back into the corner, still controlling it. Does a lot of good work for the Jets along the board in the corner. Paul Cruz finally chops it off the boards and out to relieve the pressure. 7:53 remaining in the period. Abarachi into the corner for Trent Yanni. He dumps it out, knocked down there by Newmanen. Newmanen puts it back in, fired right back out by the Flames. And this will be an icing call against Calgary. 7:36 remaining in the second period. Winnipeg hanging on to a 1-goal lead.
Nothing added, nothing taken away.
Hockey reunions. Seems every year.
See this? I could have been a pro.
The stories grow bigger.
I got the winning goal. You shot it. I deflected it.
While the Jackets, well, you know. All the more reason you'll appreciate the extra 34 cubic feet in our new minivans.
As we see Sandy McCarthy hitting the post in a bid to tie it for the Flames here at the Winnipeg Arena. I'm with the Member of Parliament for Stormont Dundas, but in these parts, Bob Kilger is better known as the father of Chad Kilger on the ice currently for the Winnipeg Jets. Bob, you made the trip to see your boy play all the way from Cornwall, and his setup of that goal in the second period made the trip worthwhile.
Well, there's no place I'd rather be tonight than be here in Winnipeg, cheering for the Jets and, of course, for Chad.
Your 10 years as an NHL referee, I guess, gave you the opportunity to tell Chad never to expect a break from the officials.
And he's not going to get any either, I'm sure.
You spent 10 years as an NHL referee. That's the only profession in which you're half wrong before you start, but you're in one that's a close second now as a member of Parliament.
Well, the referee trained me well for political life, but I'm enjoying both, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to represent the people of Stormont Dundas.
Bob, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Scott.
Don?
Well, this morning, Bob wasn't sure that he would see Chad in the lineup of the Winnipeg Jets this evening because initially it was thought that Chad would be a scratch. And here he is now with the puck, having problems controlling it as he goes to the corner. Murray can't get it out against Manson. Back to the point. Olczyk lets the shot go. That's knocked down by Stillman, who starts away with Kennedy. Kennedy tried to get it back to Stillman. It went off a stick to the corner. Stillman being tied up along the boards by McIver. Kennedy is checked, gets it back. Olczyk intercepts. He sends Kilger down the right side. Back to Olczyk. He couldn't get it across to McKenzie, who was uncovered in front of Tabarachi. Back comes Murray. He leaves it for Stillman. His shot goes off a leg. A centering attempt at the side of the net. And Habby Bullen holds it for a face-off.
A wise move by Habby Bullen to grab hold of that puck because Calgary really continually bringing the play into the Winnipeg zone with an awful lot of speed. And that Winnipeg defense seems to be backing up. They're not holding the line like they were the first 20 minutes. And as a result, you know, a lot was rested on the shoulders of the play of Nikolai Habby Bullen.
Now get a 28-point spring checkup for your car featuring oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation 9. Only at Canadian Tire. Craig
Janney looking to the Winnipeg bench. wondering about the position of certain people, and Terry Simpson with some hand signals indicates just where he wants everybody lined up for this face-off. Misses. Tkachuk did a good job of tying up Zalapsky, enabling the puck to ricochet off the boards and all the way back to center ice.
What Danny was wondering about was the exact play that the Flames were able to pull off, where they slide Theo Fleury back into the blue liners position. And when they win the draw, of course, they got their top shooter back there in control of the puck. A little bit of a different look, and Danny was a little bit confused about everyone's assignment.
Abby Bullen banks it off the boards, not out. Zalapsky shoots. It's blocked. Another shot. They score. Fleury knocks it in. So we are tied at 2 as Theo Fleury.
Mike Sullivan again is going to play a factor in this. Watch the dump-in attempt for Mike Sullivan. He gains the red line. This time the Jets are standing up. Turnover by Javi Bullen. He fires it up the glass, goes right through the legs of Tkachuk, and this time Zalapsky makes a nice play. You get the feeling that the Flames are trying to shoot for that upper corner on Javi Bullen. He's a butterfly-style goaltender. Here's Fleury driving to the net. He's with Numanen. I don't know if he ever actually got his stick on that puck or not. Second one-handed goal we have seen so far in this hockey game. Terrific effort by Fleury as he wins the battle with the much bigger Teppo Numanen.
It's Lemieux centering it, and it was deflected away from James Patrick, who had raced in from the point. Shane Doan and Lemieux continue to battle in the corner. The rookie kicks it free to another second-year man, actually, Tverdovsky. And now Fraser fires it in. Tabaracci well out of his net to play it ahead to Stern. Stern fires it to the corner. Racing in after it is Lemieux. King takes him in against the boards. Behind the net, it's Stern. Stern trying to move into position. Now back to the line. Patrick gets set. There's the shot saved by Javi Bullen. Murray couldn't get a good shot away as he pounced on the rebound. Puck back of the Winnipeg net, picked up now by Tverdovsky. Etiani. McCarthy goes back after it as the Jets make a complete change. 4:42 remaining in the second period, a 2-2 hockey game. Eastwood was tied. He fires it right back in. Zalapsky draws the lone assist on the tying goal by Theoren Fleury, his 44th of the year. Shannon keeps it in. Shannon at the side of the net. Centering attempt by Korolev. He's knocked down. Back to the line. Manson lets a shot go. Redirected loose in front of the net with a sprawling Tabaracci out of position, and the Jets couldn't get a stick on it. 4:09 remaining in the second. This game is tied at
2. For years, Cadillac has promoted an image of itself as a company you could trust. A company that refers to itself time after time. They've shown you their breakthroughs in engineering, design, and performance. But now, there's a side they don't want you to see. The bill.
And in other news, yet another...
More chocolate, peanut butter, squirrels. What? Sheila, it's Rory.
Rory? Mysterious circles are caused by...
No one knows where.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. A close encounter of real milk chocolate and peanut butter.
Don't panic, Peter. I'm sure they'll come on.
This game up just moments ago. Here's another look at it from a different angle. Watch Fleury come out of the corner, and again, he just takes a swat at that puck with one hand, manages to steer it in behind Javi Bullen at goal line.
Well, Theoren Fleury sees a lot of Teppo Numanen and vice versa every time these two teams meet. Numanen, the Jets' #1 defenseman, and he is usually out there against the leading point producer on the other team.
Terry Simpson almost doesn't like to match lines per se, but he does match his defensive pairings, and so Numanen usually draws the assignment of the premier offensive players in the opposing team.
Fleury has it in the corner from a sharp angle, knocked down by Javi Bullen. Numanen got it to the line, but not out. Titov then is checked by Janney, but Sullivan comes back to pick up the loose puck. A quick feed ahead to Fleury. He had to wait because Titov was offside. Drake along the board. Gets it to Janney. Janney goes cross ice for Newmanen. Newmanen couldn't control it. Puck slides back into Winnipeg territory, and very quickly the Finnish defenseman got back there to play it over to his blue line partner, Jeff Finley. Behind the net, Cavaracci trying to play it, had the puck pop up, and with Dallas Drake bearing down on it, decided to grab it.
Well, again, Cavaracci going to that backhand side, mishandles the puck. Dallas Drake, he's the lesser of the three on the big line for the Winnipeg Jets, but certainly his efforts have been rewarded as of late. 7 goals in his last 7 games. We talked about the fact that Simpson's not matching lines per se, but I get the feeling that Pierre Pagé is very comfortable with having the Sullivan, Titoff, Fleury line out on the ice against the Janney line. And so far, it's been paying off big dividends in this second period. A huge territorial advantage for the Flames. They've outshot the Winnipeg Jets 29-16 to this point.
From the face-off, Fraser attempted to go to the net, and Cavaracci had to make a very quick pad save. Cavaracci seems to have very quick feet.
Extremely quick feet, but Paul Stewart is going to make his first penalty call of this hockey game. 15-man advantage. It's going to go against Corey Stillman for deliberately shooting this puck out of play. Kind of ironic that Stewart would make that kind of a call in a game that means so much. I really have to question this one. See what happens. Stillman gets the penalty. The puck flying around in the crease area. He's under considerable pressure. I don't think you can actually, as a referee, determine that the mindset at this point. Watch Stillman. Yes, he definitely does make the effort with the blade of the stick to hoist it out of play, but in the situation where a player is 2 feet out in front of his goal crease with all that pressure on him, can you make the determination that it was intentional? I don't know.
Well, it's rare to see that penalty call against a forward or a defenseman. But Paul Stewart made the decision that Stillman deliberately flipped it out of play, so the Jets will have a power play. And at this time, we say hello to viewers who have been watching the action between the Leafs and the Blues. Here it's 2-2, Calgary and Winnipeg. The Jets are on a power play. McIver from the point gets it across to Drake. Back to his shot. In front of the net, Kachuk couldn't find it. And the Flames are able to clear it down the ice. I'm on with them along with Brian Hayward and Scott Oak. A capacity crowd with Winnipeg Arena watching the action tonight. Darren Fleury and German Titoff have scored for Calgary. For Winnipeg, Ed Olczyk and Ian Fraser, the marksman. Loose puck in the neutral zone, and a whistle as the puck wound up under Ron Stern. Well, Don Cherry couldn't make it in person to the Winnipeg Arena tonight, but great, your fans still love you here at the Winnipeg Arena. A lot of them were hoping that you would be here for this final regular season Hockey Night in Canada telecast. No, the other one was Don Cherry.
You know what, you talk about the success of the Winnipeg Jets in the last 5 games. They've won 4 of those games. You have to really point to the specialty teams. This is the first opportunity for the Winnipeg power play tonight, and they have been extremely effective as of late. They've scored power play goals in their last 5 games. In fact, they've clicked it just under 30% over those last 5. So Flames have got to be careful. They cannot afford to take bad penalties.
Dallas Drake has it back of the net. Drake is tied up. Janney comes in to help out. Gets it to Kachuk. Back to Newmanen. Over to Kachuk. Kachuk for Janney. Janney looking to set something up. Tried to go in front of the net. It's deflected off the skate. Picked up along the board. Now it's cleared by Titoff.
Simpson made the point this morning that the success of their power play really stems from the work of appointment. Newmanen and McIver. Now with the addition of Craig Janney, they also have a new element. They have the role play now where Janney slides in behind the net. Boy, some very dangerous.
Flames are successful again in clearing with 23 seconds remaining in the penalty to Stillman. Lead pass for Korolev. He deflected into Calgary territory. Yanni will fire at the length of the ice, and there are only 13 seconds remaining. Time for perhaps one more rush by the Winnipeg Jets before Stillman returns to the ice. Here's Manson with a long shoot in. That goes wide. Picked up by Korolev. He tries to feed the point. It's intercepted. And here goes Dean Emerson. Stillman out of the block. Drop pass to Sullivan. Saved Flames. As Manson touches it, this is icing against Calgary. 54.8 seconds remaining, and the Winnipeg Jets, at the end of that power play, almost got caught.
They certainly did. Stepping out of the box, the Flames get a real good opportunity. But, you know, it's interesting in the way that Calgary defends against the power play. Unlike a lot of teams in the NHL, there's not a lot of pressure up ice. They kind of retreat. They make their stand at their own blue line. And especially against the Winnipeg Jets, a team that likes to handle the puck and have full control as the analyst to force them to shoot it in. It worked very effectively for them.
Now Mike Sullivan drew an assist on the first goal of the hockey game. Didn't pick up a point on the second, but it was his shoot-in that indirectly led to the tying goal by Theron Fleury. 45.3 seconds remaining. Another face-off back in Calgary territory as a result of the icing call.
Walt Disney Pictures invites you to write it, eat it,
Have you lost your mind?
or get out of its way.
What do we do? It's go! It's a jump!
From the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas, on April 12th,
Eagles away!
you will believe fruit can fly.
Wahoo!
James and the Giant Peach.
Play just underway. Finley plays it back to Teppo Numminen. Numminen dodges one check, gets it to Janney. Janney for Dallas Drake, but both he and Tkachuk were offside.
Dallas Drake has continued to play very strongly. You mentioned before the game, we were talking about Dallas Drake, and you said the guy is fearless. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he throws his body around. Of course, certainly know that Dallas Drake is going to be driving to the net whenever Craig Janney has a hold of that puck. It's been a nice pickup. In fact, when you look back on the deal that brought Dallas Drake to the Winnipeg Jets, of course, that was the Tim Cheveldae deal for about Bob Essenza. He's really the only guy who's playing regularly in the NHL right now.
And when he was traded to the Winnipeg Jets, Scotty Bowman told me he thought Dallas Drake could be a consistent 20 to 25 goal scorer. Well, this year he has equaled his career high with 18 goals.
Never questioned the intensity, Dallas Drake. He's one of those heart and soul type of guys that you just love to have on your team. Certainly coaches do.
And he plays at times as though
he's built like Keith Tkachuk.
A season to remember, and the Winnipeg hockey fans hope it will continue for a while yet, beyond the final regular season game a week from, or next Friday, I should say, here at the arena against Los Angeles. The Jets will wind up the season on Sunday in Anaheim. And might that game be for the final playoff position in the Western Conference?
Things are just changing so quickly. There's so many different combinations and permutations about what could happen. Every day, everybody starts second-guessing and reading into last night's performance.
At center ice, McIver and Fleury were having an exchange of words just as the horn sounded to end the second period, with the Calgary Flames outscoring the Winnipeg Jets by a 2-1 margin in the second to even this game at 2 goals apiece.
Well, when you think about this hockey game, other than 2 glaring errors by the Calgary Flames, it's really been a game that they have controlled from the outset. They've out-hit the Winnipeg Jets. They've been very effective whenever they've been able to get that puck down low in Winnipeg territory. I think what Pierre Page is having a discussion with Paul Stewart right now is how can you make a call like that when you've been letting so much go in a hockey game? That's a pretty cheesy call to call a player flipping that puck out of the zone. Stewart, of course, is providing his explanation. And I got to agree with Pierre Page on this. It's the only individual penalty called so far, and it almost cost the Calgary Flames.
Well, the Flames and the Jets are tied at 2 after 40 minutes. Let's join Scott Oates.
All right, Don, I'm with the Flames' Jocelyn Lemieux. Jocelyn, your team came out hitting in the second period, kind of changed the tempo of the game.
Well, that certainly is our game plan every game, and I know personally that's something I needed to pick up, and I've been trying to do that the last couple of games. And you know, it's a long season, but personally, again, it's been a really long season. I'm just trying to get ready for playoffs.
Yeah, if you finish 7th in the conference, you end up playing Colorado in the first round, pitch you against your brother Claude. Do you fancy that matchup?
I mean, how about it? I'm sure Mom and Dad will have to come to the games, and they would have to stay neutral, or maybe cheer for the baby of the family. But that's something we haven't done yet, which is to play in playoffs, and it will be very exciting, no doubt.
All right, Jocelyn, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
After 2 periods of play here at the Winnipeg Arena, the Jets and Flames are tied at 2. Stand by for after 40 minutes. That's next on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Be part of the playoff madness. Stanley Cup crowd noise, presented by Midas, comes to CBC starting in April. Watch Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC for details.
I've got gigabytes, I've got megabytes. I'm voicemailed, I'm emailed, I surf the net, I'm on the web. I am Cyberman. So how come I feel so out of touch? Are you free? Are you free? Are you free?
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
McDonald's invites you to play the Disney Video Masterpiece Collection Trivia Challenge. The biggest trivia game ever at McDonald's. Pick the right answer to questions about Disney Masterpiece Collection videos, and you could be eligible to win one of 300 million available prizes. Like $1 million. Great McDonald's food. And Disney videos. It'll leave you spellbound. Now at McDonald's, it's gonna be magic.
In a world where rust never sleeps, brass locks and handle sets tarnish and discolor. Until now, introducing Wiser Brilliance, guaranteed for a lifetime.
It's been a tradition for over 20 years. Robin's Canadian-style coffee, a special blend of Central and South American coffee, roasted for medium strength, full body, and great taste.
They're facts of life. Fact is, 140,000 Manitobans depend on their CAA membership every year. For over 90 years, we've been providing the finest emergency road service.
Right on time, fast, and we were happy to see them.
Face facts. You may need our help today.
For everywhere you go today, go with CAA.
Spaghetti with cheese, nachos and cheese twist, cheese croissant, cheese wafer, apple with cheese, cheese souffle, cheese quiche, cottage cheese, yeah, onion soup with cheese.
You'll never run out of things to make, as long as you never run out of cheese.
Shrimp with cheese.
When you've got cheese, you've got choice.
Be part of the playoff madness. Stanley Cup crowd noise, presented by Midas, comes to CBC starting in April. Watch Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC for details. After 40 minutes. Brought to you by Owens Corning Canada, manufacturers of fiberglass zinc insulation.
Tonight on After 40 Minutes, Iron Mike Keenan checks the health charts, and NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman issues an edict. That's next.
Pink is pink. Home insulation and more. But some things pink are not pink. So, how can you tell? If it's pink from Owens Corning, it's pink. So, not pink, pink. Owens Corning. Do it right, do it pink.
As you can see, Vaughn's in Montreal, Jim's in California, and JD's getting set for the Hawks and the Wings tomorrow on Fox. Jim, you're in California, so since St. Louis is here with me in Toronto, I'll ask you about these befuddled Blues and all their injuries and where they're going. What do you think? Well, it really looks like a messy situation to me for a team that's supposed to be winning the Stanley Cup. They're at odds with each other at the top, and Mike Keenan and Brett Hull can't seem to get on the same page. Now Wayne Gretzky is hurt. They have a very thin lineup, and they've made everybody in St. Louis mad. They're taking all their money. They sent the fire marshal out of town so they can get more people in the building now that they have Wayne Gretzky. They've decided to put the home games in the first round of the playoffs on pay-per-view, and that's made everyone angry. And there's no guarantee that they're going to be around for very long. And when you look down the road, what's this team going to be like in a year? What's Mike Keenan going to have? They've traded away all the youth. They have a lot of older players who are on such big contracts. They might not be tradable. I don't think that situation looks very good for the present or the future.
I fear the Blues, John. Do you?
Not really, not just yet. They haven't proven anything to, I think, be in a position where they're going to put fear into other teams. The only way that they're going to put fear into other teams is if Grant Fuhr can get healthy again with the kneecap problem that he had. He's by far and away their most valuable player this season. He's their key. And the other has to be Brett Hull. I think Wayne Gretzky, if he gets healthy, will play hard, as will Al McInnes, as will Shane Corson. But they really need a real committed Brett Hull to be a decent team.
ESPN reported last night, John, that Jeremy Roenick may not make the first round of the playoffs. And I know you've just flown in, but have you heard anything on this?
Well, the ankle's a real problem for him. He's tried to skate. He's had no success whatsoever. They're shooting to the first round of the playoffs, Ron, but it is a very scary situation. The other thing is, if he goes to the first round of the playoffs, he hasn't been able to work out properly. He's been in the hyperbaric chamber every day. I think he's been in there 16 days now in a row. But it's a situation where he hasn't been able to work out. You can't ride a bike much. You can't skate, obviously. You can't jog or run a treadmill or anything else with a lower leg injury. So it's a real fear here with Chicago. They're just not scoring. Their power play recently has been going a little bit, but it is the key for them.
Yvonne?
Going back to St. Louis going back to St. Louis, don't forget, they have to give San Jose $500,000 for Craig Janney. They have to pay the Hartford Whalers $900,000 for the contract of Brandon Shanahan, and the deal with Dale Howard-Chuck and the Philadelphia Flyers, the St. Louis Blues will accept $1 million of the Howard-Chuck contract. It's a very messy kind of situation.
Hey, and what about Wayne Gretzky's new contract? We haven't heard anything about it, and somebody in the organization told me the other day not to make an issue of it because he would be signed before the playoffs, but they're just around the corner. I'm not so sure that there is a guarantee that he's going to be signed there.
Well, Jimmy, Wayne said last Sunday that he wants to be signed prior to the playoffs simply because he doesn't want to negotiate during the playoffs. He doesn't want to get involved in that situation at all.
Hey, does he want to see you in St. Louis?
Yeah, he does.
He wanted to play on the winner.
Yeah, he does. He wants to stay in St. Louis. Well, in talking to him, he said that the people in St. Louis have reached out. They've made him feel good. In fact, he's looked for a home there. He made me feel that he really wants to stay in St. Louis.
Well, wouldn't Michael Eisner do the same, John? Hey, listen.
Possibly, that's possible.
Yeah, it looks, you know, you see Solani and Korea flying last night with him in the middle. Whew. Now, let's talk about the World Cup. Hockey Night in Canada and Fox had a bit of a vested interest, so let's call that right off the bat. We wanted the announcements for the celebration on television, but Glenn Sather and Lou Lamoriello said it's a complete distraction to their teams trying to get into the playoffs to announce 15 invitees to camp, which was supposed to happen tonight, and it didn't. Who wants to tackle that?
Well, I really think they did want to delay things for a while, and they still do. I don't think they want any part of an announcement even in the middle of April, because they want to be able to watch the playoffs, see who the best players are going to be, and then make announcements later. This is for promotional purposes, and I think everybody understands that, but from the practical purposes of trying to name a team, you don't want to have to name all of your guys, even 15 of them this early.
Well, I think you can name some of them, though, obviously, to try and help promote the thing in both countries and perhaps around the world, Jimmy. Hey, I know that with both Lou and Slats, I think they've had the deadline extended to, I believe, the 14th of April. And by the way, the Russians, as we talked about last week, they had not announced that Larionov and Fetisov were on the team, the two fine Red Wing players. They've been added. They got all kinds of problems going. They don't know where the money's going to go to in Europe. The word mafia keeps jumping up all the time. And by the way, they've been added, which is good news.
JD, let me ask you this question and throw it out to the other guys. Here's part of the dilemma of trying to name a roster early. Would you put Wayne Gretzky on it right now?
That's a great question.
Did you even have to hesitate before you answer that question? If you do, then it's something that needs considerable thought, maybe through the playoffs. Is Canada going to have an old team, a young team? Who's going to be on it? The old guard, or there's going to be some fresh new faces?
Jimmy, I'm of the opinion that you should try and balance the team out for the simple reason that the World Cup is going to create a great deal of interest, and rightly so, but it's also a prelude to the Olympics of '98. And I think that you need some balance of young players there to be ready to know what that tournament's all about regarding the Olympics coming up in '98.
We always seem to think it's a lock that Canada is going to be great in these tournaments, but have a look at the standings right now, and you'll find that over half the teams in the league are led in scoring by a non-Canadian. Almost half the top 25 scorers are from other countries than Canada. We got to put some real serious thought to it here.
And that's all the hype we need, Jim, on that score. Why do it now? Let's wait. Yvonne, I know you're trying to get in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, if you look at the Canada players, and I think Glenn Sater knows exactly who are the 15 best players he's going to use in the Canada in the World Cup. And that's one thing I can't understand why they didn't announce it today. But if you look at center, talking about Wayne Gretzky, and I agree with John Davidson, I mean, this is a prelude for the Olympic in 1998. So is Wayne Gretzky be able to play, will Wayne Gretzky be able to play 1998 at the Olympics? That's the main question. At center right now, we have Lindros, we have Mario Lemieux, Joe Sakic, and we can throw also, we can talk about Mark Messier, who has been a force for the New York Rangers this season.
Hey, John, we're just plumb out of time, but you heard about a league directive. Tell us about that, and we'll call it a day.
I think it's a good call. League directive went out to all the club teams saying that here we are with just over a week remaining in the season. Make sure that every team competes in every game with the proper lineups, the players getting the proper amount of ice time to make sure everyone has an equal chance for points that are so important in the standings right now. In other words, don't bag any games to help another club or your own. And I think it's a great idea, and the league did it in advance, which is a good call.
Show it to never have to do it.
Show it to Scotty tomorrow, John. Thanks, fellas.
After 40 minutes. Brought to you by Owens Corning Canada, manufacturers of fiberglass pink insulation.
No cheese? We gotta have cheese. Cheese sandwich, cheese omelet, cheese taco, cheese ball. Yeah. Ham and cheese, wine and cheese, cheesecake. Hey, cheese flag.
Whoa. You'll never run out of things to make as long as you never run out of cheese.
Cheese burrito, cheese.
When you've got cheese, you've got choice.
Now Cheerios is crisp, crispier tasting. In fact, our crispiest Cheerios ever.
It bothers me when people pay more than they should for thin and light lenses. At LensCrafters, we have these featherweight lenses. They're thin and light, they're less expensive, and they're really tough. Now watch this. It can even stand up to a direct hit like this. Take a look at that. No lens is shatterproof. These are 10 times more shatter resistant than other thin lenses. Only LensCrafters has featherweights, and we can make them in about an hour. Giving our customers a thin, light lens at a better price makes me feel good about what I do.
LensCrafters, helping people see better 1 hour at a time.
For you, there will always be a better way. For you, there's always room for improvement. You don't just wait for the future to arise. You meet it head on. You know there are other solutions. But for you, there's only one. Roundup.
Get ready. Here comes Prison for Profit.
Profit isn't a dirty word.
The new ideas.
We try to innovate wherever we can.
And the controversy. When jails go private. Sunday night on Venture, right after Sunday Report.
Catch the excitement of the 96 Jays on Speedy Blue Jays Baseball on CBC. Tuesday, it's the 20th home opener as the Jays take on the Angels at Skydome. Action begins at 1 Eastern on CBC Sports.
Calgary and Winnipeg on even terms after 2 periods of play at the Winnipeg Arena. This, the second to last ever regular season game in this building. Third period underway in Toronto. Let's send you to the Gardens now, and here are Bob Cole and Harry Neal. Gentlemen.
Brian Contree, who gets a little time on the second half of the power play, snaps home the rebound to make it 3-1.
Well, we welcome the viewers who've been watching in Winnipeg to that game, to this game. Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the booth, and the Leafs watch this. Convery scoring on a power play to make it 3-1 Toronto. The Blues, however, have been out shooting the Maple Leafs in the game 30-21. There, though, a 2-goal spread. Converty's third of the season from Murphy and Muller, and 144, 3-1 Toronto.
Here comes Racine. This is it.
From Dar, so it's decision.
On Monday, which one?
Yeah.